Right, welcome to the channel, ladies and gents. We've got an update, some Batman news. So, if you missed it, across the weekend, I did like a technical breakdown from a directorial standpoint as well as cinematography standpoint of that funeral scene which was released for the Batman. I know a lot of people kind of switch off from YouTube at the weekend, so I just want to give you the opportunity to watch it if you did miss it. Not only that, because YouTube, sucks and doesn't notify people. So I'll leave a link above. Please do go and check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. It's a good little breakdown. I was quite proud of that, to be fair. So please do check it out. However, we've got some updates in news. So two pieces of news. Predominantly, the fact that a 4-hour cut was tested, which is like, it's not unusual. It was never going to pass. Let's be honest. But it's not unusual that a director would do, an elongated cut and sort of find out what bits need to be trimmed and kind of removed and things like that. And then we also have some information from Rob Pattinson himself on the Batman, the character of the Batman that he is specifically playing. So we're going to dive into that today, ladies and gents. Hope you're all having a great Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Side note, please do check out my second channel. It's in the description box. And also, if you don't follow me over on Twitter or Instagram at Mr. Reviews, you would be none the wiser to the fact that I have announced I shall be competing once again as a bodybuilder. That's what that thing is up there, believe it or not. You can go and look at some pictures of me tanned up on stage over my Instagram if you like. But yes, this year I shall be returning to the stage one last time for a good old laugh. Anyway, but let's dive into today's video, ladies and gents. So, The Batman. Warner Brothers has tested a 4-hour cut of the movie before settling on a 3-hour runtime. Now, I did a video again at the weekend, just, posing the question, does a 3-hour cut, is it too long? And, I don't think it is. I don't think that's too long at all. I think that's great. Personally, I think, a good movie can never be long enough, and a bad movie can never be over quick enough. So I think that's important to bear in mind when we talk about this stuff. 4-hour cut, yeah, I mean, look, it's a little bit excessive. I think my butt would be numb. Sat down watching a 4-hour cut of the Batman, I'm sure. Hopefully, maybe I'll be so excited with the Batman Penguin chase. I'll be like, moving around, super excited, super amped for it. Who knows? But yeah, 4 hours it's a lot. That's a long film. So that was tested. Now, I think what's perhaps interesting about this is that apparently there were 2 cuts tested, and I think it was even the Hollywood Reporter, if I remember rightly, that had spoken about these 2 specific cuts of the film, and one actually had a character show up in it, which was rumoured to be the Joker. So we don't know which one's, which. I think there was mention of the longer one being the one with the Joker in, and we're only speculating that it's the Joker, but it was pretty heavily implied it was going to be the Joker. Now, that's not to say that this character has been cut out from this 3-hour cut. There could still be a hint or a sign of this individual character. Not that it's required either. Important to note. But it is, important to kind of back up all this information with some other bits and pieces that were revealed. So, this week it was confirmed that The Batman will have a runtime of 2 hours 55 minutes. And it actually makes it the second longest superhero movie behind The Avengers Endgame. And the lengthy runtime has generated a fair bit of discussion online. Yeah, lots of people are like, it's too long. Shut up. Honestly, if it's a good film, it will just breeze past. Long films are only bad when they're bad. The length of a film is only bad and a hindrance when the film actually sucks. 3 hours fine. Just load up on popcorn. Yeah, sure, maybe if you can't control your bladder. Yeah, sure. And that's not me taking the piss either. There are genuinely people that obviously have, disabilities that will be going to the cinema and genuinely cannot sit down for that long. And for them, absolutely, that is worthwhile criticism. Just merely to sit there and complain that it's too long for the hell of it, no. Honestly, we're just going to call you Sandy because you must have a sandy vagina. Just calm down. So, many fans are thrilled at the prospect of spending a few hours taking a deep dive into this adventure alongside Rob Pattinson's Cape Crusader, blah, 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 blah. However, according to the Hollywood Reporter, did you like that? That was a snap, wasn't it? According to the Hollywood Reporter, some test screenings showed an early 4-hour cut. Now, it is important to note, they say it's an early screenings. So this is like, a part of that would be assembly cut stuff as well. So that's up there with Zack Snyder's Justice League, though it's not uncommon for movies to have very lengthy early cuts. Again, because part of that would be the assembly cut. It's the assembly footage. It's just them. They're barely in the edit bay, if that makes sense. So what is actually surprising is that Warner Brothers screened them. Now, that's the surprise, because that actually indicates that it potentially wasn't just assembly cut stuff. It was actually further along. Or it shows that Warner Brothers are being so stringent with this film, they wanted to ensure that that 4-hour cut got reviewed so they could take it to test audiences and say, what do you like? And then that's how the 3-hour cut came together. Because it could be. And if so, actually, that's not a bad thing. Because that will be a test audience that's taken that and going, yeah, no, I like this. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like this. And then basically, only the crap is trimmed away. Obviously, subjective crap. But you see what I mean? That could be quite positive, actually. Now, like I said, it says, what is surprising is that Warner Brothers screened them, especially as that would be a hard sell for casual moviegoers and a runtime that would put a dent in the box office takings. So I think I'm bang on the money when I say that. It's them being pretty hot on it and actually wanting to produce the longest, basically just the best possible form of the movie. So 3 hours seems like a fairly happy compromise. I doubt it's even a compromise. I genuinely think I'm right when I say what I've just said. Though we can't help but wonder what a massive 4-hour director's cut of the Batman would look like down the line. Fingers crossed, maybe. Loads of people seem to love director's cuts. Director's cuts are actually genuinely quite hit or miss. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, like director's cut is absolutely the be-all and end-all. Some of them are garbage, so I wouldn't be particularly worried about that. But secondly, ladies and gents, is this. So the Batman star Robert Pattinson on Batman's twisted no-kill rule and a Dark Knight who lives in the gutter. So this is his take on the Dark Knight. And I think this is interesting, right? Personally, it's always interesting when they come out and give this information here. So, Robert Pattinson has shared his take on the no-kill rule while talking to Premiere. There is this rule with Batman, quote, he must not kill. It can be interpreted in two ways. And I do, I've said this before, Robert Pattinson gets a lot of flack because of the crap movies he's been in, right? What started his career. It was garbage. But he's been very careful about choosing everything since then. He's actually a very good actor. A lot of people only know him for things like The Lighthouse, for instance, most recently, because that seemed to be what most people reference. But it's not just, he is genuinely a decent actor. And these kind of responses only add to my sort of anticipation of the film. So he says this, either he only wants to inflict the appropriate punishment, or he wants to kill, and his self-control prevents him from doing so. Interesting. So that's his take. Now, the actor would go on to describe how he pictured Batman's war on crime in Gotham. I imagined it that way from the rehearsal of the first fight. I thought it was funnier. Something in him just wanted to slit the guy's throat. I told myself that if he spends his nights chasing criminals, it is impossible that he does not take pleasure in it. He suffers, and it is a desire that overwhelms him. Badass. So when he says vengeance, I'm vengeance, and then absolutely brutalizes that guy, that Joker gang member, that's where it's coming from, this take, where literally Robert Pattinson's like, yeah, no, Batman, he wants to slit that guy's throat, he wants to kill him. But he doesn't. But he wants to. And he's enjoying beating the living crap out of these people. And you would. Like, you wouldn't spend your days doing all that stuff and not enjoy some of it partially? Beating the living crap out of someone? Yeah, you're going to take some pleasure in that if you're doing it night after night after night. Something's going to keep pulling you back there. So he says this, and he continues further, right? I'm sure in this first fight he manages to convince himself that every guy in front of him is the one who killed his mother. And so that allows him to vent all of his rage. The interesting thing is that this Batman practically lives in the gutter. He's nowhere at home except on the street when he's wearing the suit. So that's that. We've already heard that he doesn't have the Bruce Wayne persona, right? He doesn't have the Playboy persona at the moment. He's very much, this is who I am the Batman. And you could see that even in that funeral scene. It is Batman. You're looking at the Batman. You're not seeing Bruce Wayne there. Yes, he's not in a suit or anything like that. He's not in the bat suit, but you are just seeing Batman. So he says this further. He says, the interesting thing Oh, and I covered that bit, sorry. The interesting, so he says this. He lives a criminal life, but without committing crimes. I mean, vigilantism is, but alright. I felt like I could get something out of that. Anyway, I could only play a superhero if he was really dirty. As in, like, you know, beating the living crap out of people. So there you have it, ladies and gents. I just thought this was a really interesting take. Definitely worthwhile for a video. So let me know what you guys think. Does this build your anticipation? Does it make you amped up for it? It does me. I'm super amped up for this film. So let me know what you guys think down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Thank you all so much. Again, if you want to follow this whole sort of bodybuilding nonsense that I'm going to be doing. Because again, you only see this. You only see this part of me, my shoulders. But please do head on over to the Instagram at Misstate Reviews. Links in the description box. It'd be cool. I'm competing in Cardiff, 2nd of July. So come along. Watch if you're in the UK. If not, don't worry about it. Cheers. Take care.